Class, I hope that you enjoyed that little introductory activity that we just completed, where we had our discussion questions regarding the website about teaching teens to manage money, because after all, you'll be officially a teenager in the blink of an eye. And now we are ready to get into the real meat of our lesson today. Our lesson today begins a short unit study in which you will become very proficient working with discounts or percentage of discounts when you're out shopping, and you will also learn to think for yourself as a consumer. Now, you will find that whenever you want to determine a discount amount on an item, there are basically two ways to find that item. Either way is correct. What I want you to do is practice with both ways and determine the way that's most appealing to you. Stick with that way, and if you're careful with your work, you will get the correct answer. And you'll find that when it comes to managing your money, you will want to get correct answers because it will make a difference to you. Now, we know that percents deal with hundreds. And if something is discounted 30%, what number matches up with it to make 100? That's right, 70%. A 30% sale means that an item is selling at 70% of its normal price. 30 plus 70 makes 100%, and 100% represents one whole item. By the same token, 200% would represent two whole items, 300% would represent three whole items. Now, say we have an item that is discounted 25%, and that's fairly common in a store, 20 or 25%. What number do we match with it to make 100%? 75%. And again, this is the discount amount. This is the final selling amount. And this was your beginning amount. You began at the 100% total, discounted 25%, 75% is your final selling price. This is the beginning selling price, this is your final selling price, and this is your savings. Now, retailers want you to focus on what the savings amount is. But as a consumer, what you really want to do is always be aware of what the final selling price is. Now, yesterday I was in a Borders bookstore, and they had some items discounted between 40 and 60% off. One item was $25. $25 at 40% off is going to represent a savings of $10. And we can either determine 40% of $25 to get $10, or we can even think, what's 10% of $25? Well, it's $2.50. $2.50 is 10%. This would be another 20%. This would represent 30%, and four of them represents 40%. So 40% of $10 of $25, 40% of $25 is $10. Here is how many people would determine the final selling price. $25 was your beginning price. $10 is the savings. That's the 40% discount. And $15 is the final cost. Many of you will be able to do two steps very quickly in your mind, and this is how you will want to do your computation. But there's another way that's just as correct, and that is to go straight to the final selling cost. Don't worry about how much you're saving. Just get streamlined and think, what is the selling price? Well, we know that 40 plus 60 is 100%, right? So if something is discounted 40%, it's selling for 60% of the original price, or the beginning price. $25 times 60% is $15. You get the same answer either way. But you as a consumer, you as a student, after you practice with both ways, you get to choose which is your favorite way to do this. Now, 0.6 is going to be the same as 0.60 or 60%. It's all the same. You pick the way that you enjoy working the best. Now, you will notice I've already turned on computers for you, and I have them already set at the Borders website. What I want you to do is quickly and very quietly go sit at your stations, and I will go over the instructions with you. Okay, class, now that you're settled, every one of you will find that next to your computer you have $75 in play money. Sadly, Borders Bookstore is going out of business. They're bankrupt. And it's always a sad thing when a store goes out of business. In order to pay their creditors as much as possible, they are slashing prices to increase sales. At present, everything is between 40 and 60% off. What I want you to do is select 3 items that you would like to buy within your $75 budget, and those will be 3 items that you can choose that you are purchasing. Now, do not click add to cart because you don't have real money. You only have play money, and you cannot purchase things with play money. What I want you to do is this. Select 3 items. They can be calendars, they can be music, they can be DVDs, books, whatever pleases you. 3 items. All right? You will have 3 discounts to work with. A 20%, a 25%, and a 40%. You have that on your handout, and you see it on the board. A 20%, a 25%, and a 40%. You get to choose which item gets which discount. The only stipulation is that after the discounts, all 3 items together have to fall within your $75 range. And at the present time, we're not going to worry about tax. So you have those 3 items. You can match up which items you want with the discount. Okay? When you have done that, I want you to have a list for me that shows the original item, its original price, what percentage you discounted the item, and not the savings, but I want you to put next to it the final selling price. All right? Now, after that, you will write a paragraph for me, a one paragraph essay on about one of the items you chose, and you will determine if, after the discount, it is a good value for you. This is a paragraph that your mechanics, how you write your sentence structure, your grammar, your spelling, all that matters. Unless I tell you specifically that you're exempt, it will matter how you write your paragraph. But this is your opinion, your evaluation on is it still worth it. Now, if you have any questions, I want you to read back over the handout or look at the instructions on the board. Read it silently. If you still have questions, you may raise your hand. Otherwise, begin.